you doing, Earthlings? Watcher, YouTubers and Instagrammers and etc, etc. Hello, welcome to part... I've only just had a look and my memory is just... My short-term memory, I just forget, just like that. But anyway, part 3 I think of my... Part Dirks of my CMC Andy Mecha Community Mech Challenge build, robotdog. Anyway, without further ado, this is what I'm doing. Right, I did actually make a video, then my memory card said no, doesn't want to record anymore, so I've kind of already done this process. But what I've done yesterday, I just took some old dental plaster, it's called Fuji rock, and it goes as hard as a rock, and just filled in all of these voids, because the brilliant Andy Mecha, I don't know where he got the idea from, but all this corrugated cardboard leaves gaps, and I was trying to fill it in with paint, rub it down and fill it in with paint, but he had the idea of just putting a strip of paper down along the edges, a little strip, just folded over and stuck on with PVA glue. But I didn't do that, so now I'm trying to make it look okay with some plaster. So I just squidged some plaster on there and rubbed it down, and it's a really cheap, simple way of filling in gaps really. Use polyfiller or anything, you know, it's just much cheaper than milliput. You can't make things out of it, you can't sculpt things out of it. I think that's the way milliput should be used if you're trying to sculpt something, you know, on action figures or tiny little... I've done some lovely sculpting on well, self-praise is no recommendation, but I really enjoyed the final result of some of my Star Wars action figures with milliput. But anyway, I digress. Robotdog. I've just taken these 2 bits of EVA foam. I think this is EVA foam. I haven't actually bought any of them in my life, so I found these in someone's phone away. And well, I've got an idea. I've just taken these drawing pins, cut the pin bit off the drawing pins. I'm going to stick this on the middle, stick a magnet, a neodymium magnet on there, and then that will just go on there, so you can have a swivelling ear on the little doggy. So that's those 2 bits. I think I might just stick these on there now. Actually, I'm going to use Yoo-hoo all-purpose glue, and hopefully it's not going to melt the EVA foam. I'll probably I was just smoothing it off and shaping it up nicely with this stone barrel on my handpiece. All of these tools that I'm using, these are all specific dental ones made for a dental handpiece. They're a bit smaller, shank size, but I'm sure if you've got one of those twisty screwy ones, a Dremel will probably take them. I don't know how Dremels work, because this is just a twist and come out. This was about 30 quid off eBay, Marathon micromotor handpiece, we call them in dentistry. So yeah, that's both of those. Makes it look lovely. And this is where I find out whether EVA foam is going to be affected by this stinky all-purpose Yoo-hoo glue. That can go on here like that, nicely in the middle of the circular bit, like so. Bit over. Yep, that would be excellent. And then one on the other side. It doesn't appear to be melting the foam at all, which is good. And I've got the gouge bit on the inside. Oh dear. There's a thing about this Yoo-hoo glue, and I find it with hot glue guns. I find them very annoying. Once you've done a bit of work with a hot glue gun, you just end up with cobwebs of stringy bits of glue all over the place. Right, I've had a look at my photograph, which I stole off YouTube, of this robot dog that someone's designed and made for a cosplay. I don't quite know what character it comes from. I really haven't got a clue, but I'm kind of making my own spin on it. And I've decided to cut this bit into chunks so I can position them in certain places around it. So I think that's level there. And I'm going to stick that bit on there. Tell you what, yeah, I'm going to put the ears on once I've done this bit, because I think they're going to be sticking on this white bit here. I've got the tail here. I had this sort of thin tail section on it, and it appears to be upside down. It's definitely upside down for what I want anyway. So, well, I've decided to take that off and use it for another build. I'm going to cut off these fins. I've made the decision a few times already, and I've decided I haven't changed my mind yet, so I'm just going to go ahead with it. Using this diamond cutting disc, really old, knackered one, but it still works brilliantly. It hasn't got a huge amount of torque, this motor, but if you keep up the revs, it will go through anything like a hot knife through butter almost. I want to keep these fins as much as possible in the correct shape, because I'll be using them on something else probably. But they don't look good on a robot dog. They make it look a bit too dinosaur-y. Stegosaurus, I think, is the one that had the veins up its back, and all over its tail, and then it had a big lump of horns on its tail, so it can flip them around and hit things. Right, so I've got to do a bit of tidying up here to redo those sort of menu bits, and I've also decided to put a sort of a hole in here and use one of my ball bearings, so you can have a wobbly tail, a wagging tail. So its ears are going to move, its legs are going to move, its tail's going to move, so it can just do everything's going to move pretty much. I want to try and incorporate that into every one of my builds so far from now on, and just have everything so it's articulated and movable. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave that type for here for the time being, because I want to cut these bits down. Oh yeah, then on the outside of the ears, I thought that these would look quite nice on there to give it a bit more of a robot-y look. Robot-y. There's no body that's as good looking as a robot-y, apparently, so someone said. Yeah, so I'm going to leave it here because I want to. I don't know, I feel that my videos are too long sometimes, and I just bore people to tears with my nonsense that I create. So, how long was this one? Not 10 minutes yet, so I'm going to make them about 10 minutes, I think. The average length of a YouTube video is 8 minutes, so if I keep it to that, I think I'm not doing too badly. Yeah, funny how you can't, when you look in a mirror trying to adjust something, and do it the wrong way. Anyway, yes, Community Mech challenge. The challenge for people that haven't really made things before, maybe, and simple, easy to do mech. And I think the term mech is being stretched out to being anything mechanical, i.e. robots, because mech actually the definition is an armoured walker type thing usually with a person inside. But I've seen on the Community Mech challenge page on Instagram that there's lots of different things being made, so I'm making something that's different. I think that's just it. Just do what you want to do, and it can be called a mech. It's just mechanical. I think it's just an abbreviation of the word mechanical, isn't it, really? But some boffin somewhere has decided to do a definition on Google saying that it's an armoured robot or armoured walker type thing. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching. There's other stuff around here. There's buttons all over the place to press. Comments, feedback, with everything is all greatly appreciated. I will reply to every comment. I'll follow on. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll follow you back. So it's just all sharing the love, isn't it, really? Starting to get my mojo back again. I lost it completely at the beginning of the year. Then got back into robot building, and that's sort of taken over my life at the moment. Yeah, just robots really, and no sculpting. I will get sculpting again, I promise. But anyway, without not waste any more of your time. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and goodbye, and be careful out there. Slava